Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in this week's video I am going to be showing you how to put the legacy 4.2 definitive version onto your XP DEUS 2 remote control. Now you will need the latest firmware for this to work in its most optimal way, and that's easy to do just by visiting the xpmetaldetectors website, going on to the update tab and then just making sure that you're on version 4.2. However, let's go into the programming today. If you've already installed the legacy program previous to this, which was 4.1, all you're going to need to do is just put in some of the changes, and I'll put a label on the video to let you know when those changes come. But let's just assume that you're brand new to this program and you want to put it onto your remote control. So just turn it on and then navigate to program number 2, sensitive. Now we're going to push the options button. We're going to go into the audio and we're going to go down to where it says equalizer. Now in the equalizer, we want the first band to be at plus 12 decibels. And the second band, we want that to be at 0 decibels. I've already changed mine, but you would use the plus and minus keys to adjust yours. The third band will be at plus 3 decibels. And the fourth band will be at plus 9 decibels. So once yours says 12, 0, 3, and 9, you can push the backwards button and then we can move on to some of the multi-processing features. Okay, so now let's go down to the main menu and we're going to skip past everything else and go straight to the multi-proc menu. Using the plus key, let's just make sure that that goes to preset number 3, which is dual reactivity. And now we're going to go into the expert settings of that. Channel 2 we want as discrimination, so leave that exactly where it is. And then the panning bar here, we're actually going to skip past that and go to the effects. Now the effects on channel number 1 is actually going to be 1. And you'll notice as soon as you put that onto 1, the panning bar goes back to the neutral position of 0. So the effects of channel 2 we want to keep off, and that means we can just move straight down to reactivity. Now channel 1's reactivity is going to be working at 3 and channel 2's reactivity is going to be working at 1.5. So we're going to go down to sensitivity and we're going to go to channel 1, which is 94, and then we're just going to go to channel 2 by pushing the button there and copying across the 94. So both channels are working at a sensitivity of 94, even though they're using very different reactivities. Now going down to channel volumes, just leave them both on 9. And then audio types, I like to use PWM, but if you like to use square, then just copy square into both channels or whatever audio type you prefer. I would say that full tones won't have the same effect with this program because it's set up to work with custom tone breaks. So if possible, try and stick to a single solid sound type. So as I said, I like to use PWM. So let's just make sure that it says PWM in channel 1 and PWM in channel 2. Once yours says that, we can move down to tones. Now we want it to say 5 tones, so just use the plus key there to change it to 5 tones. And now we need to go across here to the actual high tone break. Now we're actually going to turn this all the way off. So we're going to hold down the minus key and we're going to go all the way down to the bottom until it says off. So that means that we're using channel 1 with 5 tones, but channel 2 we aren't going to get a high tone. But let's go down to the iron tone. So we want channel 1's iron tone to be at a level of 126. So just keep pushing the minus button until yours says 126. But channel 2's iron, we actually want it to be a little bit higher, and that's going to be set to 189. Okay, now let's go down to the iron volumes. channel 1 is set to 8, and we actually want that to be 8 as well in channel 2. So once yours says 8 across both channels, we can push the downwards key, and you'll see that now we've just gone straight back to the start of the multi-processing menu, and that of course means that we are completely finished and we can back out. Okay, so now we can go and set up the actual program menu itself. So what we're going to do is push the middle button here until we go to discrimination. Now the discrimination for the legacy program is going to be set to 3.4. So just change yours until it says 3.4. And now we need to go and actually set up the individual tone breaks for the 5 tones. So you'll see that it says 5 tones because we've already told it in the multi-processing menu that we want 5 tones. So now let's go in and set up each one. Well, we've already done the first one, 3.4 discrimination with 126 Hertz, because again, we did that in the multi-processing menu. But the next tone break, we want that to actually be 36 instead of 35. And we want the sound for that to be at 189. So we just need to go down and match it to channel 2's 189 ferrous tone that we had previously set up in the multi-processing menu. Okay, there we go. And we actually want the volume, so push the middle button again, to be at 8. So that's tone break number 2 set up. Let's move on to number 3. Now number 3 is actually going to have a tone break value of 63. So we're going to move it up to 63, then push the middle button to go across to change the sound that it makes. So we're actually going to change this so that it says 507 Hertz. So again, this is the sound between 36 and 63 that it's going to generate when you come across a target with that type of value. And we're also going to leave the volume at 10 as well. Okay, so let's go to the 4th tone break, and we're actually going to put that up to 78. We're going to go across again, and we're actually going to change this so that it says 741 Hertz. And we're going to leave the volume at 10 to make it nice and simple. So the last tone break segment, well, of course we can't change the value because it will be anything 78 to 99, but we can change the sound that it makes. And this is actually going to be a really nice, bright 982 Hertz sound. And we're also going to keep the volume at 10 for that one as well. And now moving on again, we get to the ground iron break, and we're going to put this down to -2.0. And again, you've probably watched my previous videos, but the ground iron break is a really useful tool for identifying iron, helping to pull some of the sounds associated with it from the ground range, giving you a complete audio spectrum for ferrous. Okay, so that's all the tone breaks done. Now we can push the back button, and now what we're going to do is go down to bottle caps, make sure that's on 0, and we're actually going to go into the notch, and we're actually going to turn that all the way off because we don't need a notch on this program. Even if you are pestered with coke and other geological things, still leave it off because the tone breaks are set up in a way that essentially it's going to sound like ferrous anyway, so we don't really need to be notching anything out. Okay, now we can return back to the tones, push the back button, and we're at the discrimination of 3.4. Now silencer is going to be on 1, so we will just keep that on 1. Sensitivity is 94, already set that previously. Frequency shift, just obviously do a scan when you're in the field, see which one works best for you. Iron volume already preset on 8. Reactivity is already preset on 3. The multi-processing we've already done and taken care of it. And the audio response we're going to have on 4. So that is pretty much it for all of the program settings. There's one thing you might just need to do, and that's to go into the ground balance options here. use the middle button until it says ground stabilizer 2. Now we actually want to just make sure that that is on ground stabilizer 2, because we don't want to change the way it reacts to the ground on this particular program. But if you're working in very mineralized hot ground, then of course you can change it to suit your own needs. And there we go, we have now successfully inputted the Legacy 4.2 Definitive Edition into the remote. I have worked tirelessly to make sure that this program is the best it can possibly be. And if you've enjoyed using the Legacy program before, believe me when I say that this particular version is probably the best one I've actually ever come up with. It just works flawlessly in most conditions, and I've tried it in various different locations, different ground, so I cannot praise this version enough. And it's going to be so much better on iron for you as well. You're going to really be able to identify small iron, big iron, but also pick out targets that are right next to iron and in amongst very irony patches. So the idea of the program is to give you as much information about the ground that you're detecting in, and so to make sure that you really don't miss anything at all. So of course all we've got to do now is go into the options, go down to where it says program, and then we just need to save it into a saved slot. So as you can see, I've previously saved it in there, but you would just push select, use the up and down keys to spell out the word legacy, and then you're pretty much done. And that is pretty much it for the Legacy program. As I said, guys, I am always trying to improve the program. I was happy with the previous version, but this version with some minor tweaks really has made the world of difference. So as always, if you input this program into your remote and you go out and use it, please drop back to this channel and this video to leave some feedback about what you think about the program and how it's working. But I am really confident that you're going to get this one on your remote and be able to use it in 99% of the situations that you will encounter when you go metal detecting, with really impressive results too. So that's it for the video. I will be doing one for the WS6 ST as well, so stay tuned for that one. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you hopefully very soon out metal detecting in the field.